This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, as the state of emergency is lifted, the City Council counts the cost of yesterday's flood. Extra support for Southland farmers. Now the region is officially in a drought. And as Dunedin continues to dry out, visitors start arriving in the city to compete in the Masters Games. Good evening, I'm Callum Proctor. Dunedin's state of emergency was lifted shortly before 10 o'clock this morning. The Dunedin City Council says 13 properties were flooded in yesterday's extreme weather event.
Speaking at a media briefing this morning, Dunedin Mayor Dave Cull and Dunedin City Council Chief Executive Sue Bidrose announced the lifting of the state of emergency following yesterday's floods.
There's nothing like the damage to public infrastructure, for instance, that we had in 2015. Nonetheless, there are a number of residents who had their homes flooded, so the emphasis now is on getting out and supporting them, assessing the damage and helping them.
Bidrose says the event saw the same issue as the 2015 floods, raw sewage from Kaikorai entering the South Dunedin network. The council is looking at rerouting the sewage from Kaikorai straight to Green Island.
And that will dramatically make a difference. That project's got a bit of time to run before it's complete.
Council inspection teams have been in South Dunedin today looking at properties. Other weather-related events yesterday included waves smashing into the St Clair shoreline, with king tides adding to the melee. The waters of Leaf were exceptionally high and wastewater is currently discharging into it near Malvern Street. People are being advised to stay out of the waterway over the weekend. Over 108 millimetres of rain fell in the city yesterday, and when the rain subsided, the winds picked up. However, Regional Director and Controller for Emergency Management Otago, Chris Hawker, says the majority of Dunedin got off lightly.
So Dunedin in the end received the worst of the flooding. But I think overall the region was wide awake and watching, and each of the district councils was taking care of business.
Most roads around the city are now open. Anyone driving through streets with surface flooding should slow to reduce the amount of floodwater being washed into properties or businesses. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
The future of the Waikouaiti Trotting Club's been uncertain in the recent past. However, organisers of the club's upcoming Summer Carnival hope the event will bolster support for it and other small racing and trotting clubs. Waikouaiti Trotting Club President Dick Taylor says club members and racing fans have to make the most of the facility or risk losing it forever. Horse racing's taken place for nearly 150 years at the Waikouaiti Racecourse. The Summer Carnival's due to begin there on February 22nd, running to noon on the Saturday, the 24th. Southland was officially classified as being in a drought on Tuesday after the Southland Rural Support Trust applied to the Minister of Agriculture to declare an adverse event. The organisation says the declaration opens avenues of support for struggling farmers in the region. Sharon Rees reports.
With persistent rain and surface flooding in Southland yesterday, it was easy to forget the region is suffering through a drought. Emergency Management Southland manager Angus Mackay says despite the rain, farmers aren't out of the woods yet.
Although it's really welcome respite from the high temperatures, we're still in a drought condition, and farmers are still working really hard to look after their stock and to plan for how they're going to go into winter with the conditions as they are at the moment.
A medium-scale adverse event was declared for Southland on Tuesday after meetings held by the Southland Rural Support Trust gauged the sentiment of farmers during the heatwave.
It really comes down to a point where you say, well, actually, it's getting that serious for the whole province as a whole. We need to seek an application for that adverse event. Really, a lot of farmers probably would have liked to have heard it a bit earlier, but at least now we can move forward and get some plans in place and act on it.
Kennedy said the drought declaration was a morale booster for Southland farmers, who were reassured the government understood the seriousness of the situation.
People outside of Southland actually think about what's happening here and are prepared to throw a bit of money at it. There's not a lot of money, but it'll be sufficient to help whoever needs it.
He said the government funding would go towards more community meetings, one-on-one support for farmers in need of intensive help, short-term taxation relief, and in extreme cases, rural assistance payments. Southland farmers who are struggling through drought conditions are encouraged to attend community meetings and to look out for neighbours and friends who may be in a similar situation. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
Animal rights activists from Dunedin, Invercargill and Christchurch are travelling to Outram to protest against rodeos. The annual Outram Rodeo is scheduled to take place on Waitangi Day, Tuesday. The action follows other protests across the country this rodeo season. Animal Justice League team member Leighton Thompson says they see rodeo as animal abuse, regardless of what the Rodeo Cowboys Association and their supporters say. Well, yesterday's flooding in Dunedin hasn't dampened the spirits of competitors who are beginning to pour into the city for the Masters Games, which start tomorrow. Roselle Labone teed off on the golfing green.
Brushing up on their master strokes, golf is one of more than 60 sports featured in this year's Masters Games. I'm Roselle Labone, out on the green at the Chisholm Links Golf Club. I'm just about to go and see what the Masters Games participants are up to. The New Zealand Masters Games is the largest multi-sport event in New Zealand and is open to everyone from 18 to 95. Held every second year in Dunedin, in 2018, 4,500 competitors are registered from all over the world. Brothers Harold and Andre Yitzma are competing together for the first time.
First time, yeah, ever, yeah, it is special, yeah. He was here last year, but before that was about 20 years.
Harold has been playing golf for just over a year and has travelled from the Netherlands for this year's competition.
My brother was going to play with me, but then he fell ill. So when I heard that the games were again this year in Dunedin, he's living here, I decided to come and have a game finally together.
Coming from a family of 13, there's always been a healthy spirit of competition between the brothers, and this newbie picked up a thing or two on the green about how to play around and how to handle a golf cart.
It's not as easy as it looks.
Despite the deluge of rain yesterday, the games will begin this Saturday as planned and will finish the end of next week. But the Yitzma brothers have certainly not let the weather put a damper on their reunion. Roselle Labone, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, the government confirms when drought relief payments for southern farmers will be available, and we're in Greymouth as the challenging task of sending people back into Pike River Mine gets a step closer.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
Gillian's Care. They care for loved ones, families, friends and our community. At a time of bereavement, care and support makes all the difference, and Gillians know this. They're here for you when you need it most. From advanced funeral planning to a service for your loved one, Gillians will guide and assist you with your individual choices. Their legendary attention to detail and passion to get it right are second to none. Gillians, caring for families in our communities since 1962.
While you're relaxing this holiday season, Ready Lawn is available to help you with your lawn needs, big or small. We work so you don't have to. Call Ready Lawn today.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte, and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost felt as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsville and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now 0800 502 402.
The Terminus Apartments, where heritage meets modern sophistication and where the past is Dunedin's future. These 1 or 2 bedroom apartments are fitted with modern amenities, room to move and spectacular harbour and city views. Contact us now to have your piece of luxury.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
For 3 generations, the Kilpatrick family have ensured Jimmy's pies are still world famous in the South Island. Made to an old family recipe, Jimmy's pies have been one of New Zealand's traditional takeaway foods, prepared daily on the premises alongside a range of savouries, sausage rolls and cakes. Jimmy's pies are distributed throughout the lower South Island. Jimmy's pies are sure to satisfy your travelling munchies.
Free heart transmission. Please open your heart.
She is flowing freely. She is nourishing. She is loving.
Call Sunny Chin for peace in your heart.
Thinking of services for older people? Think Enliven. Enliven is a service philosophy where people come first. Enliven is about choice, activity, relationships, respect and security. You can enliven your health, your friendships, your life, no matter what your age. For more information, go to psotago.org.nz or call 4777 115.
Calling all Otago superheroes, the 2018 Relay for Life needs your team. On March 17 and 18, the relay teams will join together to create one of the most inspiring events, helping not only to raise funds but also to remember those who have fallen to cancer or are struggling with it. To register your team, simply go to the website and sign on, then start fundraising. It's about celebrating, remembering and fighting back. Be a superhero and register now at relayforlife.org.nz.
Welcome back. This week's fire in the Dunedin suburb of Burnside is continuing to smoulder in places, even after a day of heavy rain. The officer in charge of the scene at Wednesday's brutal fire says yesterday's heavy rain was most helpful. Assistant Area Commander Roger Smith says most of the fire is out, thanks to both the hard work of firefighters and the rain. However, crews using thermal imaging cameras have discovered hot spots near the top of the hill. He says investigators are still trying to determine the cause of the fire. Social Development Minister Carmel Cipollone has announced southern districts will have greater access to rural assistance payments. The assistance for drought-stricken farmers will be available from February 5th to January 2019.
Drought relief payments are being extended to cover Southland, Invercargill City and Gore, as well as Clutha, Central Otago and the Queenstown Lakes region. Social Development Minister Carmel Cipollone says while some rain has visited many regions, Otago and Southland remain extremely dry, with the normally hottest and driest months still to come. Government assistance is provided to help meet essential living expenses, with a payment equal to job seeker support for farmers affected by the adverse weather events. Assistance was initially in place for farms in the lower North Island and South Island's west coast. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Communities Damien O'Connor recently extended the medium-scale drought classification areas. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
2 days ago, New Zealand's Prime Minister visited Greymouth to open a new office that will facilitate sending people back into the Pike River mine. The South Today was on scene.
Over 7 years ago, the Pike River coal mine incurred a deadly explosion, killing 29 men. Since then, many friends and families have asked for investigators to re-enter the dangerous mine and retrieve what might remain of the workers' bodies. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has now promised this will happen by the end of next year.
Today is for you.
Your determination and your commitment to seeking justice is ultimately why we are here. Every working New Zealander has the right to return home safely at the end of the day. On 19 November 2019, 29 of your loved ones were denied that right. The worst of it was that it was avoidable. Since that day, you have been denied closure, denied knowing with certainty what happened, and denied a voice. Today, that changes. Today we launch Te Kahui Whakamana Rua Tekoma Iwa, Pike River Recovery Agency, as a new standalone agency of the state.
The new Pike River Recovery Agency will be headed by Dave Gawn, a former head of the New Zealand Army.
It's a really important step into giving closure to the families of those 29 men who lost their lives.
Based in Greymouth, the agency is to run on a budget of over $7 million a year. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, Queenstown's in for a good laugh as it prepares to host an international comedy festival, and temperatures are set to remain cooler for at least one more day. Details coming up in our weekend weather wrap.
Here is this week's Mole Map UV report. Did you know New Zealanders have the highest incidence rate of melanoma in the world?
If you've ever been on a sunbed or been badly sunburnt, what are the chances you could have melanoma? Remove the doubt. Get a mole map.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte, and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost felt as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsval and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now, 0800 502 402.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
135 Cumberland Street is a brand new, recently listed Category 1 heritage building right in Dunedin's warehouse precinct. Only a short walk to the Opticon in the central city. These are warm, well-insulated, self-contained apartments with all you need for a short or long stay. With beautiful views onto the harbour, these Airbnbs at 135 Cumberland Street come highly recommended for your stay in Dunedin.
Oh, I'm not happy with this product demonstration, Ralphie. Oh, relax. It's all about balance. The balance between softness and strength. And my balance is perfect. So we won't fall? Of course not.
Hi, Ralphie.
Oh, hey, whoa. You fell for it. Yep, I fell for it. Cotton Softs. Softness and strength you can trust. I'm Cotton Soft on the environment too.
While you're relaxing this holiday season, Ready Lawn is available to help you with your lawn needs, big or small. We work so you don't have to. Call Ready Lawn today.
Loss of collagen is the reason for those fine lines and wrinkles. Silberhorn's Collagen Plus naturally supports your collagen levels, giving you younger, firmer looking skin, healthier, shinier hair and stronger nails. Joints, tendons, ligaments and cartilage all benefit from healthy collagen levels, the very foundation of structural health. Support collagen levels naturally with Collagen Plus by Silberhorn. Be quick, buy one now and get a second pack half price. Call now 0800 502 402.
helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
Motor Trade Finance proudly brings you Rural Delivery. A look at the places and faces behind New Zealand agriculture. Tuesday evenings 8:30, repeating Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday afternoons 4:30.
Active Interior Design in Mornington are the curtain and blind experts. The team can even advise you on outdoor products like awnings and umbrellas, and will ensure that everything is perfect. For interior design with flair, call Active to book your free in-home consultation or call into the showroom in Mornington.
Welcome back. A 20-year-old's been lucky to escape injury after being swept off the Oamaru breakwater by a wave and into the ocean. The incident happened late yesterday afternoon while the man was walking along the breakwater with two others. Police were called by someone who'd witnessed the incident, but by the time they arrived, the man had climbed his way back to safety. Oamaru Police advise people to take care when on the breakwater, especially when the sea is rough. Well, Comedy Central's bringing its first ever festival to Queenstown next weekend. The festival will showcase some local and international talent. Mina Amso gets her laugh on.
Queenstown comedy lovers will be treated to a lineup of local and international comedians next weekend as Comedy Central's festival rolls in with the laughs. The lineup will include New Zealand's Rose Matafeo from TV show Funny Girls.
So, for example, I'm the type of person who hates direct eye contact, of course, but I love attention.
And New Zealand's Guy Williams from Jono and Ben.
I just get higgled by a drunk guy across the square like, "Hey, funny guy, tell us a joke. Tell us a joke, funny guy, tell us a joke." I'm like, yeah, if you just literally wait like 5 to 10 minutes.
Queenstown, which in my opinion is one of the coolest places in New Zealand, and like most of New Zealand, it's kind of super laid back, but at the same time infinitely more progressive than most other countries and areas. I feel that this festival reflects that. The lineup reflects that. It's kind of got a diverse cross section of performers of different ethnicities, sexual preferences, and really celebrates minorities and marginalised groups of society.
Now, I'd like to start by saying something quite controversial.
Also gracing the festival is multi-award winning so-called master of the absurd English comedian Paul Foot, who has appeared on Nevermind the Buzzcocks and Last Comic Standing.
Firemen, firemen, they're absolute show-offs, aren't they? Well, I know they rescue people and they're brave, but they're show-offs. I mean, do they really need to slide down those poles? I mean, why can't they just play cards on the ground floor?
It's a place that people can laugh and, stop taking themselves so seriously. In the company of friends, I guess it's just a chance to relax and to do something different.
Comedy shows next weekend will play in venues across town, including the Sherwood Hotel, Sky City and the Memorial Centre. The festival will wrap up in Wellington at the Opera House on February 11th. Mina Amso, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. Dunedin's state of emergency was lifted shortly before 10 this morning, and the council says 13 properties were flooded in yesterday's weather event. Southland is officially in drought after the Southland Rural Support Trust applied to the Minister of Agriculture to declare an adverse event. And yesterday's flooding in Dunedin hasn't dampened the spirits of competitors who are beginning to pour into the city for the Masters Games, which start tomorrow. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Craig Page, good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, we're having a look at the Masters Games as well. Of course, big event up until February 11 runs through to. We've caught up with a profile on Sarah Louise Smith. She's a British competitor who's taking part in paddleboarding competition. An interesting aspect is she competes dressed as a pirate, so be quite easy to spot out there, I'd imagine. It's a big week. We've got something like almost 4,500 competitors in the town, so it's hopefully the weather holds and people enjoy themselves. We've got a bit of wash up from the flooding as well. Radius Fulton Home's the worst hit. It appears at this stage they've had to evacuate 89 residents and will be rehoming them around at various rest homes around the city. Could be for up to 3 weeks while they get the damage repaired there. In our weekend mix, we're having a look at NCEA, the secondary school qualification, and asking whether it's helping or hindering our students. It's a big year for NCEA. It's going to be reviewed by the government and see what future it has in our schools. There's sort of mixed views on whether it's success or not. Some claims that sort of it leaves pupils just doing enough to get the credits they need, perhaps not pushing themselves as much as they could. A lot of schools saying that some schools aren't using it as well as they can, and they can actually be a bit more creative with it. So it'll be interesting to see how that review goes, and well worth a read tomorrow. And finally, we've got the Highlanders tonight against the Waratahs in Queenstown, so we'll have coverage of that on our website this evening and full coverage in tomorrow's paper.
All right, thanks for that, Craig.
Thank you.
Tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. Time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silverhorn Sportsville.
And starting with today's Southern View taken of Toitū Museum. Situation, we can expect fine weather inland this weekend with plenty of sunshine, but cloudy skies nearer the coast with a few showers at times in southern parts and winds remaining cool. To the southern towns where it remains cooler tomorrow, Balclutha, Catlins, Gore and Lumsden all on track for moderate southwesterlies, clear skies and highs of 15 degrees. Moving over to Central, Alexandra and Wanaka can expect fine weather with light winds and 21 degrees. The same for Queenstown, but fractionally cooler at 20. And Tiana is in for moderate southwesters, clear skies at 15. To the northern towns and on the coast, Oamaru and Timaru experience cloudy skies tomorrow, light winds and a cooler 16 degrees, but a bit warmer inland with Omarama and Twizel in for fine weather, light winds and 21. To Dunedin tonight, cloudy with southwesterlies, the overnight low 9. Tomorrow mostly cloudy, sunny periods developing later, cool southwesters, 14 the high, 9 the low. Mostly cloudy for Sunday, moderate nor'easterlies and 19 is the high for Sunday. To Invercargill tonight, cloud clearing with a low of 9. Fine tomorrow, sunny periods and some cloud, moderate southwesters, 14 the high, 9 the low. And cloud increasing with showers developing later for Sunday, freshening southwesters and 15. And that's the South Today. You can follow us on Facebook and also at channel39.co.nz for the latest news from around our southern region. We leave you with some images from this week's Roger Waters concert held at Forsyth Bar Stadium.
I would have rearranged the veins in the face to make them more resistant to alcohol and less prone to aging. If I had been God, I would have sired many sons, and I would not have suffered the Romans to kill even one of them. With my staff and my rod,
this bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.